Imagine doing something as ordinary as sorting the washing, only to pull out a t-shirt stained with someone else's blood. That is exactly the nightmare about to land on Bethany Platt's doorstep, and it is set to blow the lid off one of the darkest secrets currently brewing on the cobbles. Coronation Street fans, get ready, because this is one you will not want to miss. Hello, and welcome back to the channel, your home for everything happening in Weatherfield. Today we are diving deep into a genuinely shocking twist involving Detective Kit Green and his stepdaughter-to-be, Bethany Platt. If you have been following the escalating war between Sarah Platt and her prison tormentor Casey, then you already know tensions on the street are at boiling point. But this next development takes things to a whole new level, and it is going to leave Bethany and viewers at home asking some very uncomfortable questions about the man her mother is planning to marry. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of what is coming up, let's rewind a little for anyone who might not have every episode memorized, because there is a lot of history packed into this storyline. Bethany Platt, played by Lucy Fallon, is one of Coronation Street's most enduring characters. Fans have watched her grow from a vulnerable teenager groomed by predator Nathan Curtis into a sharp, headstrong young woman who has been through more heartbreak and drama than most people experience in a lifetime. She has weathered abusive relationships, a rocky career in journalism, an on-off romance with Daniel Osborne, and the constant chaos of being the daughter of Sarah Platt, a woman whose love life reads like its own soap opera within a soap opera. Sarah, played by Tina O'Brien, has never exactly had luck with men. Since Bethany's biological father died in a car accident years ago, Sarah has moved through a long list of Weatherfield's most complicated men, from gangsters to cheats to unreliable charmers. So when she settled into a relationship with DS Kit Green, a seemingly steady, career-focused police detective played by Jacob Roberts, it looked like she might finally have found some stability. Kit even proposed, and while Bethany was initially stunned by the news, she has come to accept him as part of the family. The problem is that Kit Green is not quite the by-the-book officer he appears to be. Long-term viewers know that underneath the badge, Kit has a track record of bending, and sometimes shattering, the rules whenever he feels the people he loves are under threat. He has used intimidation, manipulation, and outright cover-ups in the past to protect his family, including covering for his half-sister Gemma and getting involved in incidents that a real detective really should not be anywhere near. So when a new, far darker crisis lands on the Platt-Green household, longtime fans immediately suspect that Kit is about to cross yet another dangerous line. Now, let's get into exactly what is happening right now. The storyline currently gripping the show centers on Sarah's terrifying situation behind bars. After finding herself in prison, Sarah has become the target of a fellow inmate named Casey, a woman with a serious grudge and an even more serious desire to make Sarah's life a living hell. Casey has been slowly tightening the screws, showing Sarah photographs of her young son Harry, letting her know that she has eyes on him even outside prison walls, and making chilling threats that leave Sarah desperate and terrified. In one particularly bone-chilling moment, Casey visits Sarah in her cell and casually mentions Harry by name, and the realization that her enemy knows exactly who her son is sends Sarah into a spiral of fear. Sarah's plan to strike back is dramatic in itself. She is shown arming herself with a sock stuffed full of pool balls, preparing to confront Casey head-on inside the prison. It is a desperate, dangerous move from a mother who feels she has run out of options and no longer trusts the system to protect her family. But while Sarah is fighting her own battle from behind bars, Kit is waging a very different kind of war on the outside. Convinced that the only way to make Casey back off is to go after the people she loves, Kit sets his sights on Casey's son, Brandon. Spotting him around the precinct, Kit gives chase, fully intent on using intimidation as a weapon, the same tactic we have already seen him rely on in the past. Whether or not he catches up with Brandon, and what exactly happens if he does, is something the show has been keeping close to its chest, but it is clear that Kit is prepared to go to extreme lengths to protect Sarah and Harry. And this is where Bethany comes crashing into the middle of it all. Completely unaware of the storm building around her, Bethany is doing something as mundane as sorting through the household laundry when she makes a discovery that stops her in her tracks. Tucked in amongst Kit's clothes is a t-shirt stained with blood. For a moment, everything else fades into the background. This is not a small smear or something easily explained away. It is enough to make Bethany freeze, her mind immediately racing through every worst-case scenario. What has Kit done? Who does that blood belong to? And is it connected in any way to the increasingly volatile situation involving her mother, Casey, and Casey's son? This is precisely the kind of gut-punch moment Coronation Street does so well, an ordinary domestic task turning into the catalyst for a much bigger, much darker revelation. Bethany already has history with uncovering uncomfortable truths, and her instincts as a former journalist mean she is unlikely to simply let this go. The question fans are now buzzing about is whether she confronts Kit directly, whether she goes digging for answers herself, or whether she keeps quiet out of loyalty to her mother, at least for now. It is worth remembering that Bethany's relationship with Kit has not always been smooth sailing. Their first proper meeting saw him arresting her over a car theft misunderstanding, and while their relationship has warmed considerably since then, especially as he became a genuine father figure in her mother's life, there's always been an undercurrent of unease around exactly how far Kit is willing to go when he feels his loved ones are threatened. This blood-soaked discovery threatens to reignite every one of those doubts in one devastating moment. Fans online have wasted no time speculating about what this could mean. Social media forums and comment sections on soap news sites have been flooded with theories in recent days, with viewers debating whether Kit has actually hurt Brandon during his pursuit, whether the blood could be connected to an entirely separate incident, or whether this is simply a red herring designed to make fans suspect Kit before the truth turns out to be something else entirely. Some fans have pointed out that Kit's track record of covering up violent incidents, including his past involvement in an assault on another character, means audiences have every reason to fear the worst this time round. Others are more hopeful, suggesting the injury could be an innocent workplace accident that Bethany is simply misreading in a moment of panic. Television commentators covering the soap have also flagged this as one of the more intense domestic thrillers Coronation Street has produced in recent memory, praising the way the show has layered Sarah's prison ordeal with the unfolding tension back on the cobbles. The pacing of the reveal, tucked in among smaller everyday scenes like doing laundry, has been highlighted as a particularly effective way of making the shock land harder because it comes when viewers, much like Bethany herself, least expect it. So, what could this mean going forward for the characters involved? If Kit really has taken drastic action against Casey's son, or against anyone else connected to this feud, the fallout could be enormous. As a serving detective, any suggestion of violence or evidence tampering would put his entire career, and quite possibly his freedom, in serious jeopardy. It would also throw his upcoming marriage to Sarah into chaos, especially if Bethany decides she cannot stay silent about what she has found. There is also the emotional toll to consider. Bethany has spent years trying to build a stable, trustworthy support system after everything she went through with Nathan Curtis, and discovering that yet another father figure in her life might be hiding something sinister could be a devastating blow to her sense of safety. For Sarah, the stakes could not be higher either. She is already fighting to protect Harry from Casey's threats while trying to survive behind bars herself. If it turns out that Kit's actions on the outside have made the situation worse rather than better, Sarah could find herself caught in an impossible position, torn between the man she loves and the safety of her son. And if Bethany brings her discovery to Sarah directly, we could be looking at a genuinely explosive family confrontation in the episodes ahead. There is also plenty of speculation swirling around exactly who the blood belongs to. While Casey's son Brandon is the obvious suspect given the Chase storyline, some fans are wondering whether this could tie into a completely separate thread the show is quietly building, perhaps involving one of the other simmering conflicts currently playing out in Weatherfield. Coronation Street has a long history of using misdirection in exactly this way, so nothing should be taken at face value just yet. What is feel certain is that this storyline is only going to intensify. With Sarah preparing to confront Casey directly inside prison, and Kit taking increasingly reckless action to protect his family from the outside, the next batch of episodes looks set to bring these two parallel dramas crashing together. Bethany's discovery could well be the spark that forces everything out into the open, whether that happens through a tense confrontation with Kit, a heart-to-heart with her mother, or her own investigative instincts kicking in once again. So, to summarize where things currently stand, Sarah is trapped in a terrifying game of cat and mouse behind bars with the vengeful Casey, who has made it chillingly clear that her son Harry is not safe from her reach. Kit, desperate to protect the people he loves, has resorted to chasing down Casey's son in a bid to scare her into backing off. And now Bethany, completely in the dark about any of this, has stumbled onto a blood-stained t-shirt that could unravel everything. Whether Kit's secret turns out to be something relatively innocent or something far more sinister, one thing is certain. This is shaping up to be one of the most dramatic chapters of the year on Coronation Street, and the fallout is going to reach far beyond just one household on the cobbles. That is everything we know so far about this shocking twist, but as always with Coronation Street, things can change fast, and we will be right here to bring you every update the moment it drops. What do you think the blood on Kit's shirt really means? Do you think he has crossed a line he cannot come back from, or is there an innocent explanation waiting to be revealed? Let us know your theories down in the comments below. We genuinely love reading them. If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to smash that like button, and if you have not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a single Coronation Street update. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.